Squad might be coming to South Carolina. Executions have been on pause in the state because drugs for lethal injections just haven't been available. 7 News' Ann Maxwell has more on a bill that the governor says he looks forward to signing.
In addition to bringing the firing squad to South Carolina, this bill would change the default method of execution from lethal injection to electric chair. Lawmakers in Columbia are looking for a way around a lack of lethal injection drugs to begin executing inmates again. Representative Jason Elliott of Greenville co-sponsored a bill to do just that.
If we do not change the law in South Carolina, those 37 inmates will remain on death row.
Of those inmates on death row, several have exhausted their appeals. But they can't be executed because the state's default for execution is lethal injection, and the state hasn't been able to get those drugs for years. A proposal currently in the House calls for allowing death row inmates to choose among death by injection, electrocution, or a firing squad. If an inmate chooses drugs and they aren't available, or they decide not to make a selection, the bill calls for them to be electrocuted. The director of the American Civil Liberties Union of South Carolina spoke against the bill at a hearing last week.
From our perspective, it is inappropriate that we're discussing the method of execution when we have a death penalty system that is racist, arbitrary, and error-prone. For example, a black male is 18 times more likely to receive a death sentence if the victim was white versus black.
Records show about half of inmates on South Carolina's death row are black, while South Carolina's population is only 27% black. A spokesperson with the South Carolina Department of Corrections says a law to shield the identities of companies who sell lethal injection drugs could provide another tool to help make lethal injection possible.
I go this route in South Carolina versus looking to pass a shield law.
Yeah, well, the shield law since I've been here has not, in the past several years, has not been on the table for the legislature to pass.
He says ultimately, decisions about the death penalty are up to the people of South Carolina.
I think about the gruesome way in which many of these 37 or plus victims have suffered at the hands of those 37 inmates that have been sentenced to death.
Representative Elliott says a debate on the bill is expected to begin next week, and he expects it to pass. In Greenville, Ann Maxwell, 7 News.
Representative Elliott, who you just heard from, says legal challenges are pretty much guaranteed when it comes to this death penalty legislation.
Next on 7 News, discussion